What's happening, everybody? Nick Olson here with Brent Mann, American Engineering, Chupacabra Offroad, back here at Peoria, Arizona, here at Brent's shop. And last time you guys saw Brent, we did a video about getting the motor back in the race car. And I showed Wes and Andrew, but really it was Brent did all the heavy lifting, getting the car going. So if you haven't been following the channel with the race car build, Brent took it from a chassis to a full race car, raced it a few times, had motor issues when we were out tuning with Queen. And Mark Queen and Havasu noticed that after we had something go wrong, taking it back to the shop, there was brass in the oil. So we decided instead of having the motor rebuilt, we would start fresh with a new motor. Brent, you took apart the old motor and you kind of confirmed what Queen saw?
Yeah, the top end on it is really great. But yeah, once we took it out, I kind of did some inspection, and yeah, there's a lot of bearing material in the bottom end. And when I took the filter off, it was a full hit. So yeah, definitely Queen was correct that some of the bottom ends let them go. So
after that, Brent got the motor running. Not only did he put in the new motor, he added an additional oil cooler from Holtz. We got, what, 2 extra quarts of oil capacity?
Yeah, about almost a little over 2 quarts. So yeah, it's a real nice, with a C-trap oil cooler in it, and actually did a little bit of old school aerodynamic testing with fans in the front to see. I kind of wanted to have a scoop on it, but with the way the car was overhead, it didn't, the air went over it. So I kind of put it down below, above the engine, and then actually from the air from the sides goes in and through. So worked out real well.
That's one thing I've been learning too with each race car specific, how guys tune them, how the chassis is built, how the air flows. So we're hoping with that improvement, we're gonna have some cooler temps. This car has really never ran right because the first tuner we took it to, unfortunately, basically screwed the car from the get-go. But we're starting fresh.
Yeah.
A whole lot of life lessons and money later. But that, and then the final upgrade is we bumped up the stock stator 660 watt out of a 2018 Razor Turbo motor to Turbo S 900 watt dynamic stator. Right. Our voltage was not high, it was okay, but we were doing some racing fishing with the lights on. Now we got some more voltage.
Yeah, it's a dual, the dual setup on the voltage regulators. Had to do some wiring for that, make some adjustments, but so far the few tests that we ran, the voltage is up, and it looks good so far. So
there we go, guys, onto the trail, getting the race car more dialed. We'll report on that later, but we're here to talk about Brent. Brent is in the side-by-side game. As you guys can see, Brent picked up a 2020 Turbo S Velocity 4-seater.
Yeah.
And you've been looking for a long time. We've been talking. I'm real excited for Brent. And first question, why'd you go Polaris over CanAm versus anything else?
A couple of reasons. One is everyone that I know has them. I built a lot of these. I have a lot of parts. And the deal that Polaris gave me, I took advantage of their great deals they had here a few months ago. And we really like the style and the look of this, so that's why I went with this.
And you built some X3s as well. You've kind of seen both of them down and dirty down to the bare frame. So was it wheelbase? Was it just like the stoutness of the Polaris? Like
it was like,
you were talking 2-seater for a while too?
Yeah, I was thinking 2-seater, and then I want to be able to take my daughters with us in that. So I'm glad I went with this. I'm going to build a storage compartment when I'm not have 4 people with me, and the rear seat section. But this Turbo S comes long travel stock, and you don't have to do anything. It's just build the stuff and go. And that's one of the reasons why I did it. The wheelbase is a little bit less than a 4-seat CanAm, and I wanted to be able to do some things with that. So it's why I made my decision.
Awesome, man. Well, as I can see, you already got some improvements on it. You got some new BFG tires with some method wheels, and I'm really interested to know the cage here. I mean, if you've been following Brent, follow us on Instagram, post the cars you built cars from scratch, or not from scratch, but chopping up a 2-seater, making it a 4-seater, doors. Basically, Brent can do whatever he wants. And cage, you've got the Baja Spec cage from CageWrx.
Yeah. So when I started putting together my list to do it and all that, CageWrx had I got an email for it was a holiday. I think it was Memorial Day or whatever, but they had like 20% off. So I started looking at it, and this is how I wanted. I wanted a flat top roof because I want to put a roof rack on, and for Baja and all that. But by the time I got all the plates, the door hinges, the bungs, and buy the tubing, it was actually cheaper for me to buy this kit and then to do it myself. So I went ahead and did that. I mean, it's chromoly, it's all pre-bent, it fits together really nice. I'm TIG welding all of it, and I did a couple different things. I changed this to a single bar instead of the V. I'm doing a couple different things, but it was cheaper and less of my time to bend everything up and notch it and do all that to buy this cage.
So you bought the kit, which CageWrx sells, a bunch of tubes pre-bent, pre-notched, right to your door here in Arizona.
Yeah.
And then you mounting it up essentially, and then starting the tacking process.
Yeah. So it came in a box, unloaded it. Everything is pre-bent. It's all laser cut. It has notches in it to where it goes. It's really a nice kit. And I basically unbolted my stock cage, put on the bungs, and started tacking everything up and prepping everything. And within a couple hours, you have the skeleton of the cage.
That's really cool. If you guys have been following the channel, you saw that our buddy Wes Leffler just got his car wrapped. He also went with the CageWrx, so with the more radius design of the Super Shorty. What's cool about the CageWrx cages, they work with any type of door option versus my cage is Madigan cage. It's a great looking cage. The Madigan doors, they get a lot of compliments, but you can only run the Madigan doors on the Madigan cage where you kind of do whatever you want. Like Wes so far is pretty happy with this Cognito doors.
Yeah, and this, I'm actually going to have the stock doors now, and I have the Chupacabra lower inserts in it with the Chupacabra door bags. So I'm going to run that for a while and then decide what I want to do on the doors next. But it gives me the options to put on whatever I want. That's one of the reasons why I did,
So you talked about some of the changes you did. I like the single intrusion bar versus the double, like you said. I know you're gonna give your personal flair. So what else are you gonna do fabrication-wise? Roof rack, tabs, lights. What do you think about?
Yeah, so it's gonna have a roof rack. It's gonna be similar to the ones I did, like on the Savage UTV and the latest pre-runner I built. It's gonna be removable, sleek. I have a windshield. I'm gonna do my own windshield for it and all that. I'm doing my own style of rear tire carrier. It's gonna be unboltable. I'm not gonna do the swing up one. It's gonna be to the back. It's gonna be like Baja style, but it's gonna be removable. I'm gonna have spare fluid containers like that. Putting Switch Pros in this for all the lighting. Making the custom bumper. I have rigid lights on it. So here we go.
Yeah, nice. Well, it's the middle of summer, so you got a few more months before prime riding season kicks off. So you're gonna do a custom bumper. It sounds like any other custom fabrication stuff. Once you get the cage, roof rack, all that dialed, instead of front bumper, anything else custom?
I'm doing a custom rear bumper on it as well. It's already on the table, ready. Rear chase light bar. It's going to have dome lights and lights throughout, on the trail. I'm building this basically as a trail Baja pre-runner type of car that can go on the road. Here in Arizona, we're fortunate we can drive them on the street. So that's what I'm going to use it for.
Nice. See, obviously you need some more lights, guys, for everything, and like you said, it's kind of opened up Pandora's box. So obviously you got all of your major components, but big Baja rides, you need communication, any other electronics?
Yeah, so I'm going to put an iPad in here for my navigation for right now. I do have an older Loran, so I'll make a mount for that. Have all the radios set up, already got all the intercoms, all that. That's kind of all the electronics right now.
iPad, are you going to be using any apps in particular?
I'm going to use the OnX Offroad.
OnX?
Yeah.
Very cool.
So I use that. I did take this out. It has 100 miles on it. I did take it out one weekend and used it on my phone. And it was a fabulous app. So
that's cool. OnX reached out to us to kind of be an influencer or work with them. So I've been kind of playing around with it. I haven't done a video on it yet. I know we get some questions on the YouTube channel. I've used LeadNav a little bit, one time in Baja, a couple times for a race. I know they're popular, particularly in the race crowd. There's a lot of other apps I've heard of as well. I know Polaris Ride Command is not bad for free, but the OnX in particular, the guys that are hunters, I wouldn't really know, I'm not a hunter, but I do have access to the hunting app, and hunter guys rave about OnX capabilities, making sure you're not on private land, and That affects us too if we're up in northern Arizona where we come across a closed fence of some property we need to go around or avoid.
I went by Castle Hot Springs on the trip that I did, and I wanted to go over to the road that goes to Crown King, and it actually gave me, I told them where I wanted to go, and it gave me 3 options. It gave me, like, this one is not as very rocky, so they told me to go. This other one was better, so I was really impressed with it.
That's cool.
And you could track it. So at the end of the day, when we got back, it showed me everywhere we went, the mileage, average speed, and I was very impressed.
That's cool. We both live in a similar area and we both ride 2-wheel stuff. And I know sometimes more so in the side-by-side world, the two-wheel, some new trails might pop up. And I like finding out where those are. So I think it'd be fun if we kind of map some local stuff on our 2-wheels. If we find anything we might be missing and compare it to the app.
Right.
It's kind of easier to cover a lot of ground and check certain things out. And then it'd be fun in a backyard that we know really well to see how that app works and compare it to some of the other apps. So we'll get into more of that in the future. It's cool that you're using it too. Obviously, you're going to do some safety harnesses, some 4 points, 5 points.
Yep, doing that. Then eventually seats, all that. Yeah, this is going to be ready to go to Baja. So,
awesome.
Yeah.
Storage, what are you thinking about for the back? Storage box, cooler, tools?
Yeah, so I have tool bags in the back for tools, and making my custom jack that I'll be having come out here in a couple months, a jack kit that goes for this. Fire extinguisher mount, safety stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna get a cooler for the back, a soft cooler that goes in there. Some storage stuff in the for fluids on the cage and that, like we do in the pre-runners. And then up top, probably have one of those small deals for extra fuel. And yeah.
Yeah, I like how Andrew's got his extra mounts for his rotopacks up top.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. He only uses them maybe once or twice a year, but they're up there when he needs them, and they're out of the way, and they're lightweight when they're not filled with fuel. So.
And it's not in the back near the heat or the exhaust and all that. So.
Yeah, speaking of coolers, guys, I've been using 3 budget coolers for the last while. I'm trying to build a RZR for a long time, and I still struggle with the right amount of cooler size, the right amount of tool size to have an impact. And have enough cooler space for an all-day ride. Let's say you and I were in one vehicle to have enough drinks and stuff for food. So
right.
I've been using the AO. I use the cheaper Igloo from the UTV Giant setup, and then I've also used an Arctic. So I think comment below if you guys want to hear more about that. I know some of you guys are gonna ball out and go with the Yeti. I'm a little bit cheap for that. I'm curious if these work as good or good enough for an all-day ride. So I've had kind of mixed results when it counts, which is like these all-day trips where you really want to keep stuff cold and fresh for a 12-hour day.
And I'm also going to put a lot of EVCO carbon. I got carbon fiber, front CV guards, antenna guards, shock guards. Putting those on this as well.
Nice. I guess last topic, suspension. How does it feel so far? First off, yeah, I mean, you said you got 100 miles in, so how does everything feel? The car in general, suspension, tires? What are your first comments?
Really impressed with the suspension. These walker shocks actually work really good. The car just feels, it goes wherever I want. It's very stable, very smooth, even with 4 of us in it on our first ride. The BFGs hook up really well. And both on the pavement and on the dirt, whether I'm in sand, I went over some rock sections, gravel roads, the BFGs handle awesome.
Well, I'm excited. I think now it's get your car buttoned up. And like I said earlier, Brent's working on my trailer, getting it all dialed for a camping trip. So we need to do a camping trip with the 2-wheelers and this.
Yep.
Go ride 2-wheelers during the day, go ride this thing at night, get the lights all set up, and have fun and live it up. So it's been a long summer. A lot of events have been canceled. A lot of big group rides have been canceled. But, we're in August now, and the tide's going to change. And I'm excited, man. We got some glamour stuff coming up, all kinds of stuff. So
yeah, it's that's why I've been working, getting all this other stuff done so I can get this done so we can go riding. Because we're fortunate where we live that we can just leave from our house and go to a lot of places. So
yeah, even just for like a quick Sunday ride, not to be gone more than half a day or so. And got Box Canyon in our backyard. I've never even been still, so I hope we get to check out a lot of local stuff. Another thing too, I'm part of a big group, and lucky enough that they put on all these rides, so I just get to be the guy who shows up. but it's time for me to step up. I know some of you guys have been asking for a Chupacabra ride. Not that we could maybe plan something and invite the whole internet, but at least us kind of map out a ride. I've been loving the idea of us going from here up to Prescott, staying the night, maybe heading over to Sedona. I mean, I guess we're so lucky that options are limitless here in Arizona. So it's time for the Chupacabra to step up here and organize our own ride, 3-day ride. That type of stuff where these type of cars kind of really how we think we want to be ready for all situations. Brent's raced for years, been down in Baja, probably been caught without the right tool or the right part. And that's the beauty of these things. We can take them and do all that and run at a good pace.
No, we need to do that.
So what's the top 3 list of places you want to visit in terms of big epic rides? Like what's the first thing that comes to mind?
I want to go to Parker, around Parker, but I want to do that Peace Trail for one, and I want to go. Everyone talks about that Sheets Bridge. Now you can go to the dam and the water goes over. I want to take that there, but I mean, obviously the goal is Baja. I want a Baja ride, Mexico ride, where we go there for 4 or 5 days and go all over Baja. So
so hopefully once things get going back to normal, that'll be us. We'll be ready to go and have a good time. So cool, Brent. Thanks for your time. Excited for your new ride. Let you get back to working on this sucker. But if you guys like the content, please like and subscribe. You guys, I'm not sure if you're familiar. We also sell parts like Brent mentioned, door bags, lower door inserts, mirrors. Check us out on our website, chupacabraoffroad.com, and we'll see you on the next one.